Controversial as it may seem, the question we're exploring today is God love or a murderer? A query that challenges us to delve into the heart of the religious texts we hold dear. It's a journey that invites us to look beyond the surface, to examine the stories we've heard countless times through a different lens. Imagine the scriptures as a vast sea, with each book, each verse, a unique wave forming part of this expansive body of water. Some waves are calm, filled with tales of love, peace, and forgiveness. Others are tumultuous, stories of wars, conflicts, and yes, even instances where God seemingly orders the killing of innocent people. Consider, for instance, the book of Joshua, a narrative rich with conquest and warfare. Here, we encounter the fall of Jericho, a city taken by the Israelites, its inhabitants slaughtered at the command of God, men, women, and children, all falling under the sword. On the other hand, we have the book of Genesis, where God, grieved by the wickedness of mankind, decides to wipe out the whole of humanity with a flood, sparing only Noah and his family. An act of divine judgment, yet one that resulted in the death of countless innocents. Similarly, in the book of Exodus, God inflicts the Egyptians with 10 plagues, the final one being the death of every firstborn in the land. A severe punishment for Pharaoh's stubbornness, but a death sentence for many who had no part in the ruler's decisions. Such incidents, when grouped together, paint a picture that is difficult to reconcile with the image of a loving and merciful God. Yet they exist within the same scriptures that speak of God's profound love for humanity, his willingness to forgive sins, and his desire for peace and justice. This dichotomy may seem perplexing. It challenges our understanding of God, pushing us to grapple with the complexity of his character as depicted in these sacred texts. And while it's tempting to shy away from such challenging narratives, it's essential to face them, to engage with them critically. Reflect on these stories. What do they reveal about the nature of God? How do they influence your perception of him? And most importantly, how do you reconcile these seemingly contradictory aspects of his character? The goal isn't to provide definitive answers, but to encourage thoughtful reflection. The scriptures are not merely stories to be read, but narratives to be engaged with, wrestled with, and deeply contemplated. So, as we close this exploration, remember, the journey doesn't end here. It's merely the beginning of a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the scriptures and the God they portray. Whether that God is love, a murderer, or a complex figure that embodies both, is a conclusion only you can draw. As you continue to delve into the scriptures, may your journey be one of discovery, reflection, and profound understanding.